One of my favorite things about traveling to a new country is that they have foods that I've never had before. And recently had the chance to travel to Scotland, and while there I did not have the full Scottish breakfast, but the hotel I stayed at did have something new for me, and that was potato scones, which in essence is turning mashed potatoes into an almost pancake-like thing by adding flour and then frying it in a pan on both sides in oil. So now that I've returned home, I want to try making them for myself. So with my helpful pup assistant, this is Recipes with Ben, and let's get cooking. For this recipe, I'm going to use 3 gold Yukon potatoes that weigh a little over 500 grams. I chose this potato because I like the creaminess it adds to mashed potatoes, and also they were in season at my local farm stand. So I'm going to cut them up into smaller pieces so they cook a little bit faster. And now that my helpful assistant is back and improves my work, it's time to cook them. I'm going to place them in a pot half filled with water over medium heat, and I'll sprinkle a pinch of salt into that water, then all the potatoes will go into the pot. I'm going to bring it up to a simmer and then finally a boil and cook them until the potatoes are nice and soft and a knife can be easily placed in them so they can be mashed up with a potato masher in a second. After draining out all the water from them, I'm going to add a tablespoon of salted butter, a little pinch of salt for more to taste, and while the potatoes are still hot, I'm going to start mashing them up to incorporate the butter into the potato mixture. Next, I'm going to add in my favorite milk substitute, which is oat milk, or you can use whatever you like instead. And I'm going to add just enough until the potatoes start to become smooth. Again, with the potato masher, I'm going to mash that until it's uniform in consistency. And now this potato mixture can sit until you're ready to make the scones, or if you have leftover mashed potatoes, you can continue at this point. Then, to that potato mixture, I'm going to start by adding in 1/4 cup of flour to start, and work that in until it slightly comes together. And I'll continue to add more flour until it turns almost like a dough consistency. And then to continue working the scones, I'm going to flour our work surface and place potatoes on top of that. I'm going to continue to add flour in small batches and knead the potatoes until it becomes almost like a Play-Doh-like consistency. Then I'm going to divide it into 3 equal-ish portions and knead that for a few seconds, and then pat it into a flat circle, but if you prefer, you can roll it out with a rolling pin. And cut the circle into fourths, and then we can turn to the frying portion of this recipe. I'm going to use a cast iron for this because it can take the heat for needing to pan fry these in 3 batches. And so then I'm going to add a little bit of neutral oil into that pan, and then it's time to add in the potatoes. Let the potatoes cook for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. And you can check to see if they're done by flipping it over. And this one wasn't quite done, so I flipped it over to the first side. And the color you're looking for these scones should be somewhere between golden and golden brown. And at that time, it's time to flip it over and finish cooking them on the other side for about 3 to 5 minutes as well. Now, the potato scones are traditionally served with breakfast as a side, and I found that if you cook up a whole batch, refrigerate them, and then you can heat them up in the morning in a non-stick pan and enjoy them whenever you want. Now let's turn our attention back to the cooking, and these are all done, so I removed them from the pan and put them on a clean plate, and I cooked up the rest of the batch of these scones. Now for the best part, the taste test. For these, I love their crunchy exterior with an almost pancake-like interior. They're nice and soft. So let me know your thoughts down below if you make it for yourself. If you made this far, why not subscribe to get more content like this? If you're looking for more of my recent adventures in Scotland, check out one of these videos on the screen now, and I'll see you again soon.